Members of Parliament, surely but slowly we're getting to the evening, so I want to say good evening and welcome back. And I welcome the Prime Minister back now in his capacity as Acting Minister for the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. And I welcome the support staff joining the Minister at this time. And I immediately turn the floor over to the Minister, who will address the questions asked by members of Parliament regarding the Ministry of ECYS. Minister Mercelina, you have the floor.
Thank you, President of Parliament. In the function of the Acting Minister of Education, I will give answers to questions posed by the Member of Parliament concerning the Ministry of Education. The first is a question from MP York. He spoke about the ERCOS from the Sport Auditorium, understood that an advice is taking its round. When is the Minister expecting the advice to be ready? The installation of an air conditioning system in the LB Scott Sports Auditorium is a collaborative project between the Ministries of ECIS and TIAT. We have finalized the draft terms of reference, the TOR, for the public tender, and the advice is currently making its rounds. Once a decision is made, the tender announcement will be published. DPE, being entity over school management teams of various schools, DPE evaluates principals and management teams. Does the Ministry believe in bottom-up evaluation? This matter has to be looked into. Our current evaluation system would require further insight of this stance, a further response to this question. Further insight of this stance, a further response to this question will be provided by him about the stance on the functioning of the DPE. How many people work within the DPE department? There is a total of 8 persons working currently employed at DPE. Question 5 is the HR department and how long in service in current function? 2 persons are now in this current function, HR advisor, 14 years in function, and the HR officer in 9 years. Question 6, what is the education background of the persons currently functioning in the HR of DPE? HR advisor, he has a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, double major in Human Resources and Management. The HR office is a Master in Science of Educational Leadership and Management. Question 7, present State of Education Report 2020-2022, presented to Ministry and 2022 and 23, still being prepared, advances to 2020 to 2022, before moving on to 2022 and 2023 to receive by Parliament. Would that be possible? The State of Education Report 2020 to 2022 was sent to the House of Parliament on June the 27th, 2024. However, a presentation should be coordinated soon from the Cabinet of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. Question 8 from the Member of Parliament, Mr. York. As it pertains to school materials for schools, budget cuts, and look into public-private partnership, is the Minister aware that the entity allowed to request funding for schools falls under the PTA, the Parent-Teacher Association? Schools' PTAs are dormant for various reasons. Schools are not equipped to receive any funding from any entity. The legislation does not explicitly assign funding request responsibilities to Parent-Teacher Association to the PTAs. for especially school materials. Instead, it designates subsidized school boards as accountable for managing funds for both operational and educational needs, as well as ensuring compliance with funding requirements. This implies that PTA fundraising efforts are supplementary rather than a mandated source of financial support for the schools. Question 9 is, what is the LMA on reporting of teachers to DPE? What is the process of complaints and making those reports? Public school staff are civil servants, thus the LMA must also be followed in handling any complaints regarding public education school staff. Question 10, and what is the process about reporting teachers to the inspectorate? If not the same, what is the difference? If advices are drafted without the proper process not being followed, are these advices deemed valid or invalid? What happens to these advices or those that are drafted? All advices that are drafted have a predetermined procedure that must be followed. Advices can and is sometimes returned for correction to being them in compliance with the regulations where derogation is prohibited under the law. Question from MP Brug. What I read in the media concerning Prince Willem-Alexander School, can we have a breakdown of what the situation is and how can we assist? The reports are presently under thorough investigation. As the Ministry conducts this review, we seek to obtain complete information prior to any disclosure. And then we have questions from MP Lacruz. Actually, there are statements that he has made concerning the Prince Willem-Alexander School and also the PSV. He made a statement into St. Martin's Academy Business Center, the first to do the TKL in English, asking to pay attention to it. That's it. I have taken note of this comment, and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport is looking into the developments, of course, of this St. Martin Academy Vocational Business Academy. These are actually the questions that I have been presented with in the function as Acting Minister of Education. I hope that I could give the answers that were expected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Mercelina, acting on behalf of the Ministry of ECYS. Members of Parliament, are there any clarification questions regarding what has been stated by the Minister? That appears not. Yes. Yes, that appears to be the case, and I give the floor to MP York. MP York for clarifications.
Thank you, Madam Chair.